Imagine this. You've just moved into a new house, and guess what? It's not just you and your family living there. No. Longfellow says every home is a bit of a ghost hotel. No need to be scared though. These are friendly, invisible guests. The spirits of people who once lived in the house hang around, whispering old secrets in the walls and sitting on chairs you can't see. The poem is like Longfellow says, homes are more than brick and wood. They are filled with memories of those who lived here before. It's as if each house has its own hidden history book. But don't worry, these ghosts aren't here to scare you. They are just hanging out, minding their own business, maybe judging your decorating choices. So next time you feel like you're not alone at home, maybe you aren't. Maybe it's just a ghost checking out how much cooler your house looks now. So let's get right to the poem now. Haunted Houses by H.W. Longfellow. Now, in this passage, the poet tells us that every house where people have lived and passed away is haunted by their spirits or memories. These spirits aren't scary. Instead, they are harmless and peaceful. They move quietly through the house, almost as if they are on little missions or errands. Errands, which means small tasks. But they don't make any noise as they glide, move smoothly across the floors. All houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses, means that any house where people have lived and eventually died is still influenced by their presence of memory. The poet calls these homes haunted, but not in a spooky way. It's as if the memories or spirits of those who once lived there remain, making it feel like they still linger, as in they still hang out or stay. Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms of their errands glide. The word phantoms here means ghosts or spirits. These ghosts move through the house quietly and smoothly. They glide as if they are doing simple tasks. The poet reassures us that they are harmless. They don't mean to scare or harm anyone. With feet that make no sound upon the floors means the ghosts move so quietly that their feet don't even make a sound on the floors, as if they are walking on air. The spirits or memories of people who once lived in these houses are still around, quietly moving about without causing any trouble. Now, in the next stanza, the poet describes how we sense the presence of these spirits or memories in different parts of the house. We might not see them clearly, but we feel like they are there, quietly moving around. We meet them at the doorway, on the stair. The poet says that we come across these spirits or ghosts as we go about our daily activities, like at the door or on the stairs. It's as if they are sharing the space with us. Along the passage they come and go. Now the spirits quietly move through the hallways or passages just like we do. They come and go almost like invisible housemates. Impalpable impressions on the air. The word impalpable means something you cannot touch or physically feel. So the spirits leave impressions in the air that you can't see or hold but can sense. It's like feeling a soft breeze. You know something is there, but you can't actually touch it. A sense of something moving to and fro. This means there's a feeling that something is quietly moving back and forth around the house, and the movement is subtle, but you can sense it even though you can't see it. In simple terms, Longfellow is describing how we might feel the presence of spirits in the house even if we don't actually see them. It's more like a feeling of something moving around, almost like a gentle presence that we can't touch or hear, but know is there. Now, here the poet uses a clever idea to suggest that there are always more guests in the house than the ones actually invited. These extra guests are the quiet and peaceful spirits that still linger in the house. There are more guests at the table than the hosts invited. The poet imagines that when we sit down for a meal, there are actually more people at the table than the ones who were invited. These extra guests are the invisible spirits or memories of the people who used to live in the house. The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts. Now, this refers to the brightly lit room or hall of the house where people gather, for example, a dining room. Now, the word thronged means crowded or filled with people. So, the poet says the room is filled with ghosts, but these ghosts are inoffensive, meaning they are harmless and not scary, and they are very quiet, as silent as the pictures on the wall. The poet compares the ghosts to the pictures on the wall, meaning they are completely silent and don't disturb anyone. They are just there, like decorations, observing but not interacting. Even though we don't see them, the ghosts of past residents are still present in the house, sitting quietly at the table with us. They are peaceful, they make no noise and don't cause any harm, just like the silent paintings on the wall. Now, here Longfellow talks about how different people experience the same place in different ways. The stranger at my fireside cannot see the forms I see, nor hear the sounds I hear. Now, the poet here is talking about someone who is not familiar with the house. For example, a stranger sitting by the fire. The stranger cannot see the same things or hear the same sounds that the poet can. Forms here refer to shapes or figures like the ghosts or memories the poet sees, and sounds are the noises or whispers the poet hears. He but perceives what is. Now, the stranger only notices what is directly in front of him. What's currently happening in the house is what the stranger notices. Well, unto me all that has been is visible and clear. Here the poet tells us that unlike the stranger, he can see and understand not just the present but also the past, the memories and spirits that linger in the house. In simpler terms, we can say Longfellow is saying that while a visitor or a stranger only sees and hears what is happening right now in the house, the poet can sense and understand the past memories and spirits that are not visible to the stranger. It's like having a special ability to see and hear things from the past that others cannot. In the next stanza, the poet explores the idea that the real ownership of a house or land isn't just about legal documents. Instead, he suggests that the spirit of people who lived there long ago still have a presence or influence. We have no title deeds to house or lands. Title deeds are legal documents that prove who owns a property. Longfellow says we don't really own a house or land just because we have these papers. Owners and occupants of earlier dates, from graves forgotten, stretch their dusty hands. This implies that people who lived in the house or owned the land a long time ago, the people from the past who are now buried and forgotten, still seem to reach out with their dusty hands, hands that are covered in dust from being in the grave, as if they are still connected to the property, and hold in mortmain still their old estates. Mortmain refers to an absolute possession of lands or buildings by an ecclesiastical or other corporations. Estates refer to the properties or land that one owns. The poet suggests that these old owners, though dead, still seem to hold or influence the property. So, in other words, we can say the poet says that even though we may have legal documents proving we own a house or land, the memories and influence of people who lived there long ago still has a presence. It's as if these past occupants are still connected to their old homes, even from beyond the grave. In the next passage, Longfellow is describing how the world of spirits or memories surround and mix with our everyday world. The spirit world around this world of sense floats like an atmosphere. Now, the spirit world refers to the realm of ghosts or spirits, while the world of sense is our everyday physical world that we can see and touch. The spirit world is everywhere around us, similar to how the air or atmosphere surrounds us. It's all around us, but we might not always notice it. And everywhere wafts through these earthly mists and vapors dense. The word wafts means to move gently through the air. The spirits or memories move gently through the earthly mists and vapors dense. These are the foggy or unclear parts of a physical world that make it hard to see clearly. A vital breath of more ethereal air. The vital breath means a life giving, essential presence. Ethereal means something light, delicate, or heavenly. So the spirits bring a delicate and important presence that mixes with the heavier physical world around us. The world of spirits or memories surrounds our everyday world like an invisible atmosphere. It gently moves through the foggy and unclear parts of our world, bringing a light and important presence that we might not always see or understand. In this passage, the poet talks about how our lives are balanced by different forces and feelings. Our little lives are kept in equipoise by opposite attractions and desires. Now, equipoise means balance or stability. Now, Longfellow says that our lives are balanced or kept steady. Our balance comes from having different, sometimes conflicting feelings or attractions, things that we are drawn to, and desires, things that we want. The struggle of the instinct that enjoys and the more noble instinct that aspires. One of these feelings is the instinct that enjoys. This is the part of us that wants to have fun and enjoy life's pleasures. The other feeling is the noble instinct that aspires. Now, this is the part of us that aims for higher goals and dreams, like achieving something meaningful or important. So, our lives are balanced by two different feelings. One part of us wants to enjoy life and have fun, while another part wants to achieve big, important goals. This balance between Enjoying life and striving for goals helps keep our lives steady. Now, in this passage, Longfellow explains where the conflicts and desires in our lives come from. These perturbations, these perpetual jars of earthly wants and aspirations high. Now, perturbations means disturbances or problems, and perpetual jar here means a constant feeling of conflict or disagreement. So, he's talking about the ongoing problems and conflicts we face in life. Now, these problems and conflicts are caused by our earthly wants, the things we need or desire in our everyday life, and our aspirations high, that refers to our big dreams and goals, come from the influence of an unseen star. Now, Longfellow says that these conflicts come from the effect of something we can't see directly, like an unseen star. Now, this means there's a mysterious force or influence that affects us. An undiscovered planet in our sky. The undiscovered planet symbolizes something that's not yet understood or known. It represents a hidden influence or force that affects our lives and feelings. So, in short, struggles and desires we feel in our lives are caused by a mysterious, invisible force or influence. Now, this hidden force, like any unknown planet in the sky, affects how we deal with our everyday needs and big dreams. Now, in the next passage, the poet uses a beautiful image to explain how we move from the everyday world into the world of imagination and mystery. And as the moon, from some dark gate of cloud, throws o'er the sea a floating bridge of light. Now imagine the moon coming out from behind a dark cloud, which is like the dark gate. And it literally means that the clouds are covering the moon. Now, when the moon shines through the clouds, it creates a floating bridge of light across the sea. This means the moonlight looks like a shining path or bridge stretching over the water. Across those trembling planks are fancies crowd. Now, the trembling planks refer to the wobbly or the shimmery parts of the light bridge. Our fancies are our imaginations or our dreams. The poet tells that we use this light bridge to travel with our imaginations into the realm of mystery and night. The realm of mystery and night represents the world of dreams, imaginations, or things that are unknown and magical. So Longfellow compares the moonlight creating a path across the sea to how our imagination can take us on a journey into the world of dreams and mysteries. Just like the moonlight makes a bridge across the sea, our imagination leads us into a magical and mysterious world. Now, in this stanza, we see that the poet continues to use a vivid image to explain how we connect with the world of spirits or imagination. So, from the world of spirits, there descends a bridge of light connecting it with this. Now, here descends means comes down. The poet says that from the world of spirits, that is the realm of ghosts or imagination, a bridge comes down. Now, this bridge of light connects the world of spirits with our everyday world. It's like a glowing path that links the two worlds, or those unsteady floor that sways and bends. Now, the bridge is described as having an unsteady flow that sways and bends. This means that the bridge isn't solid and stable, but rather wobbly and shifting. Wander our thoughts above the dark abyss. Now, our thoughts, our imaginations travel across this wobbly bridge over the dark abyss. a deep, mysterious space below. Now, the dark abyss represents the unknown or the mysterious parts of our imagination. Here, the poet says that from the world of imagination or from the world of spirits, a glowing, wobbly bridge extends to our world. Our thoughts and imaginations use this shaky bridge to travel over the mysterious and unknown parts of our mind. And that's all for our deep dive into haunted houses. I hope you now have a better understanding of the poem's eerie and enchanting imagery. If you're looking for more practice, including detailed questions, answers, and multiple choice questions to test your knowledge, head over to my webpage given in the description box and on the screen. It's packed with everything you need to ace your studies on this poem. If you have any questions or thoughts about the poem, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe for more literary insights, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. Thanks for joining me and happy learning.